Hi. I just finished writing a blog about your inner self and about how your inner self, how you should treat your inner self, because a lot of us don't treat our inner selves very nicely. And I know that, I've been playing tennis most of my life. And I know that when I miss a shot or if my serve doesn't, if I double fault on something, which I rarely do, I get very upset. And I know that when I chastise myself, when I denigrate myself, when I say, you dummy, what's wrong with you? You know better than that. You're stupid. I know I'm not stupid. I know that I'm better. But I do that, and then I catch myself. And so after a while, then I realize that what I'm doing is I'm letting my first inner self talk to my second inner self. And that means that on the one hand, I'm being judgmental, and on the other hand, my psyche is judging themselves as not being good. So I'm reading a book right now called The Inner Game of Tennis, and it's by a guy with the last name Gallwey, Gallwey, Timothy Gallwey. And one of the things that he talks about in there is, or the thing that he talks about in there is allowing your inner self to do the job. Relax, let it happen. He said when he was teaching tennis, when he was critical or when he started to tell people what they were doing wrong, they kept doing it over and over. But when he allowed them to figure it out, either by showing them in a mirror or by just allowing them to watch him play for a while and see what he did correctly, then they imagine. I mean, it was just a huge change. All of a sudden, people were able to come and follow through and get a forehand, a backhand, anything they want. This is all relative to life. It's all the same thing. And what we do in life is we sometimes say, "Oh, I'm no good," or I didn't, or I don't have enough education, or I didn't do this, or and on a daily basis when we go to work, we say, "Oh, I should have left earlier," or I should have done this, or I should have written a better report for them, or I should have gotten up and been in the office half an hour early to show that all that stuff. You're always trying to please people, but you're also trying to please yourself and your inner self by saying that you're better than what you appear to yourself to be. And that's a lot of, I know, a roundabout thing. But the thing is that I always found, and I'm finding today, that my life is better, my game is better, the whole thing, when I just let it happen. And when I say what I think, when I do what I want, and when I treat people the way I want to be treated, which is the only way I've ever treated people. And that's the whole thing, is that in the end, you don't want to work for someone who mistreats you. You don't want to have somebody work for you and be mistreated. You want to play a game, whether tennis, ping pong, whatever game it is you like, whatever, a handball, anything. You want to play that game the best you can so that the people you play with are having a good time, so that the exercise you get also exercises your mind and makes you feel sharper, so that the whole thing is a roundabout experience of your whole life getting better and gaining on a regular basis. And one of the things I listened to Dave Wood talking about tonight is the same thing, is that you don't want to sit down and wonder, what am I going to write about today, or what am I going to do today, or what am I going to think about today. You want to do something so that your mind and your activity and your whole psyche is always thinking on that level. Now, I was saying today also, what can you do to create these things that you would love to write about and that interest you? One of the things you can do is read every day. Read something that's inspiring, read something that means something to you. You can do research on something. If something you hear about something, you do research on history. You can do research on a name, on something local. The more you dig, the more you'll find there's a whole thread, a whole chain of things going on. There's so many things that you can do that are of interest that other people would like to know about also, but also would like to know that that's something that they can use to do their own research, and they can create their whole persona that way. And the whole thing is just to relax, to let your brain work, to let your body and your brain work together, and to create the things that your body, your mind, your psyche, your soul, everything want to create. And don't let other people influence your creativity. you know that no artist will ever allow anyone to interfere in their creativity, unless, of course, they have to pay the bills. And then afterward, they always said, "I never wanted to do that." But that's where I'm at today, and that's one of the things that I think is so important. That so many people who are starting in this business and starting to do blogs and starting to try and get out and get their name out so that they can get a following and they can start their business, they wonder what they're going to write about. There are so many things to write about, so many things that are of interest to us all. I'm reading 3 books at the same time now, and no matter where I go in my car, I'm always listening to a book. And the books I listen to, whether they're historical novels or whether they're novels or whether they're history things that are completely real, there's always something in there that you can pull out that's of interest. And if it isn't even the location, sometimes you'll research the location and you'll find that there's something very interesting in there. That you can always find something that's of interest to you, and believe me, if it's of interest to you, it's going to be of interest to somebody else. So I hope you got something out of this, and I love to talk to you. And I'll be back tomorrow, and I hope you follow and you get into what you want to do, and I hope that we can help you to achieve your inner peace and achieve your prosperity that you so badly want. Okay? Thank you very much, and get to me again. If you need any help, please contact me. Thanks. Bye.